So, I want to make a little part 2 to my first video. And in today's video, I'll be telling you, telling you to be honest, what the best Game Boy is that you can build if you know a little about tech or if you're like willing to open these up. So, if you want to build yourself the best Game Boy at the cheapest price, it will have to be the Game Boy Advance with the IPS screen. You can get, the only thing you really need is the motherboard, but you need some experience with soldering, or you don't really have to be a good solderer, but you need some experience with soldering. So, yeah, just as long as you do it right, just search up how you do it, and you can get the motherboard for about 30, $40, or you could get a almost broken Game Boy for about $30-40, Game Boy Advance, of course, from about, something like Buy, or if you buy from Japan, or on, eBay is pretty expensive nowadays, let's be honest here. eBay is pretty expensive. Don't buy from DQ Oldies. You probably already know that. So yeah, you could get an IPS screen. Don't buy anything from eBay. There is a lot of resellers. If you want an IPS screen or IPS kit, go on to AliExpress. You can get those really cheap. And yeah, you can put yourself a Game Boy together. And this is definitely the best one if you want the best experience with Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. And then you can buy a multi-cart or EverDrive or EaseFlash if that's in your budget, which it might be. You can also buy replica Game Boy Advance games like this one. This is a replica for about $5 on AliExpress, and yeah, you can play those. So, but if you want the best of the best, buy yourself a EverDrive or EaseFlash. I have bought about four now EaseFlashes from AliExpress for about 60, 70, $80, something like that. Maybe 60, 65. Yeah, something like that. And those can play a lot of games, but you need extra computer. So yeah, definitely I recommend checking that out. But if you want something really cheap, the cheapest of the Game Boys, do not look at that, of the Game Boys, if you want to fix yourself or something like that, it will have to be the Game Boy Pocket. But I do not recommend fixing yourself a Game Boy Pocket, because the screens, most of the time you see burn-in screens. Do I have an example here? And when you see burn-in, yeah, I have a lot of experimental screens. When you see burn-in on a Game Boy Pocket or even a Game Boy Light screen, those are almost, and I say almost, impossible to fix. It is possible, but it's almost impossible. I've done it 10 times, and I've never succeeded. Yeah, maybe more. No, maybe less. Maybe 8 times, never succeeded. And yeah, all of these are cleaned, restored. So as you can see, I have a bit of experience with Game Boys and polarizing filters. I made 2 polarizing filters repair videos, and I have replaced some polarizing filters on some of these advances, some of the colors. I've sold some colors with changed polarizing filters. Those are pretty easy, but Game Boy Pocket, do not replace the polarizing filter on it. I do not care what you say. You can comment down below that it's easy. It's not. If you're not experienced, it's so hard. It's so easy to damage some of the ribbons or something on the side, and boom, your screen is done. These screens I can probably just put on a new polarizing filter, and they'll work, but they'll have vertical lines and horizontal lines, so don't do that. If you want something a bit cheaper, get yourself Advance with a burn-in screen, and then replace the polarizing filter. I have a tutorial up. That's pretty easy to do, but you need to be careful. to not screw the screw holes in too hard, because then you can damage it. Yeah, the Advanced is actually pretty easy to damage with the screw holes at the moment. That's like what I have been experiencing with these screens the most. No, these Game Boy Colors the most. So that's really annoying. Game Boy Color, hard to remove and replace the polarizing filter. DS lights, they break too fast. Don't buy them from Japan or broken. Screens are yellowed, you can't fix that. Motherboards, like I have had motherboards that don't charge. Broken L and R buttons, don't buy those. Like you need to set like limits, because when you start repairing these, if you like want to get one console that works, you need to be really careful with what you buy. If you like buy one repaired console and you're not able to fix it, and you buy another one, it adds up, right? It's better to just buy one working one. So yeah, Game Boy Advance SPs, these are freaking expensive, man. I mean, I can't even like recommend. If you can find like one almost like the shell is bad, you can replace the shell for about $100. It's not too hard. Just look at the tutorials and I mean, look at the tutorials. Don't buy them if there's something wrong with the ports. I have had that happen, where they were damaged. Don't buy Game & Watches if they're broken. Those are hard to fix. It's possible, but it's hard. DS, I mean, to be honest, I would never recommend to buy a first generation DS nowadays, because the hinges, they break too fast. Like they can break in the mail. There are too many problems, like one disconnected wire or something and it doesn't boot. I have so many broken ones. Like this one, it doesn't boot. This one, broken hinge. This one, broken hinge. Here are two that I haven't even opened, because look at them. They have broken hinges, right? 3DSs broken. Don't buy 3DSs from Japan, because, I mean, they're region locked. First of all, you need to region unlock them. And, I mean, there are scammers out there, too. This DS Lite, look at the hinge. Yeah, the hinge is the problem here. Look at that. It's bad. And if you're buying consoles from Japan or something like that, always, like, the pictures might look like this. I mean, it looks like there's only scratches here, but as you can see, top screen is also damaged, because they like to call it junk. But I mean, almost everything is called junk, right? So you buy some junk, and some junk works, some junk, broken screen. Yeah, this Advanced, I don't have battery cover. I actually need to order that, or replace the shell or something like that. I'll come up with something, because I ordered one shell, but I guess I have two of these. Here is an example of a broken screen. Game Boy Light. This, if it would be working, would be worth about $130, something like that, on eBay. So yeah, what else? Game Boys. I have a ton of first generation Game Boys. The thing with these, they have vertical lines, man, and some vertical lines you can't fix. It's like there's like a 30% chance or 40 that you won't be able to fix the vertical lines. Trust me, I know. I have like 10 screens, 10, 11, 12 screens up there that I was not able to fix. And motherboards too, right? So motherboards work, shells look fine. I actually need to replace some of these shells with these. Like, who would buy this yellowed one, right? I need to replace these because I have some beautiful shells. So Game Boys, I mean, you also need a soldering iron. So maybe if it's like for nostalgia, you could maybe look at like Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes there are some good offers on there. Not here in Norway, to be honest. I've only gotten scammed by some alcoholic once. Yeah, look at your like local marketplace. I don't know, what other tips? Guard sales, something like that. Yeah, I mean, did I forget anything? I don't think so. Thank you guys for watching. Like, dislike, subscribe. Tell me in the comments below if you disagreed with my opinion or have something to add. I don't think I forgot any consoles. I think I mentioned everything. I mean, DSIs, all of that. If you want me to talk about what the best DS is, if you want to buy and get cheap, then tell me. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.